In this final video from the Sarofsky Labs freelancing panel, we talk about what not to do as a freelancer so that you don't get blacklisted from working with a studio or a client for bad behavior. Let's find out more.
Okay, so this one has happened, so that's why it's number one on here. Never talk or share pitch work. If you're in a studio and it's a competitive pitch environment, don't send what you're doing to other people. Don't even tell other people what you're doing. I know, it's shocking, right? Like, I guess. Like, one of the first things that happened here, this was like 10 years ago, we were pitching, like, this is when Oprah was a thing, and they were thinking about, they thought maybe the show was going to continue on, so they were exploring doing a whole rebrand for the Oprah Winfrey Show. And this was like a huge get for my studio. I was in with the creative director there, and she was super cool, and she kind of had us doing some early preliminary working on it. And like after a week, I got a call from her and saying, like, what are you doing? Like, why do people know about this pitch? Like, I don't want so-and-so working. I don't want... And it turned out like one of my artists had shared not only his work with a competitive company locally, but also just the knowledge and who was our client. So they picked up the phone and called over there and said, hey, I heard you're doing a rebrand. Can we get in on this pitch? Like, the last thing you need is more competition, okay? And so it's really important when you're in a studio that you're very, very, I mean, once you've won work, you know, we tend to be pretty open about it, but certainly pitching, like, it's like, that's like business, like as businessy as business gets. So don't share the work or pitch or share the information with other people. Security and NDA.
Oh yeah, this is a big deal for us.
Yeah, this is interesting because like security is an illusion to a certain extent, but we have to take it seriously because we have to. Like a lot of the stuff that we do, we are held to very strict NDAs, and how we handle files can't be even attached to the internet or things like that. So literally any person that walks in the studio will have to like say, I'm here, I'm giving over my phone, all of the things on that. And it's, you know, it's kind of, I think we take it seriously, but not insane. You know what I mean? But everybody that's in the studio understands like how deeply important it is, especially on those crazy jobs, because, you know, not only are we liable if something gets out, they will track it down to the person and they will find you in minutes and you will be dealt with. And yes, we will be dealt with too, but you are not under like some Sarofsky immunity here. Like these companies will find you and they will figure out exactly how you got it, exactly where the breach in our security was, all of that. So you have to take it very seriously, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get information out, you can.
That's the truth of it.
We take away the internet, we put curtains up,
do all the
warnings, and no cell phones past that area. But you probably don't want stuff to get out. I mean, you'll definitely get blacklisted from this company, and very likely all the other
whole community
companies that we may have.
Yeah. Toxic gossip. I mean, like, I love good gossip, obviously. I want to know all the things that's going on. But there is, like, toxic gossip. And I don't know, there's some people that just seem to not know where the line is. And it is...
It spreads through the studio like wildfire.
Yeah.
We've seen it happening a few times. And people just feed off of that negativity, and it just becomes like an unpleasant workspace.
Yeah.
It's just, if there is something that you're not agreeing with, or just go up to the people. And talk to them face to face. Yeah. Always. Yeah. Don't avoid the conflict. Yeah.
You know, I heard this thing again at the One Club thing this weekend. They said, complain up, not down. or sideways. You know what I mean? Like if you really have something going on, like you want to talk to people that can actually create change, and that isn't going to destroy the environment around you. If you complain down sideways, everybody all of a sudden takes on your grievances and your struggles, and it goes real crazy, real quick.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
So, then nobody's happy.
Yeah. I think like basically all of this is about your reputation.
Yeah.
Which is a freelancer, that's like all you have. I mean, there's not that many, but there are some freelancers out there that like every studio, it doesn't matter, different cities, like they all know.
No.
They're hard to work with. They don't take not even criticism, but just like notes. They don't take notes well. So I think like, yeah, just like learning to say, you don't say no, you say sure, but, right? Like just little things like that where now it's like, yeah, I gave them notes and they kind of pushed back, but in this nice way. And like you have to like foster this feeling about you, like this person's easy to work with,
Yeah.
They make the office is better when they're in.
Yeah. And they're pro getting shit done. You know what I mean? They move the ball forward. Some people, it seems like, just push the ball back.
Yeah.
And everything they say or do, and you're just like, how are you making this harder? You need to make shit easier, like.
Yeah. Let's give it a try. You know? And it may take a little while, and you can let people know this is going to take a while, but it's just that attitude.
Be personable. I think it's being personable over your demo reel.
100%.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the gossip thing too, I think that's part of what I talked about it earlier. Like you have to be slightly separate from the staff. Mm-hmm. Like you can be palling around, you're buddies with everyone and they're all your friends and you go hang out afterwards. But when like the client from hell sends a note and everyone's griping about the client, like saying really nasty stuff, you can't join in on that, as fun as that is.
Yeah.
And everyone else is doing it. You can't do that. You have to be different,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Be professional.
Sometimes freelancers will start going, okay, but what are you booking me for? And they start kind of, is it cool? Is it a cool job? Is it a Marvel gig? Like, what do you got going on? And they'll want to either come here based on that versus another thing. Like, we're one of the studios that actually like our cool work. Like, we wanted to go to cool work. All our cool work is cool. But like that main title stuff, that stuff that you see on a reel, like, I want my artists to work on that. You know what I mean? That have spent years and years proving themselves on all of the things. I think they need to be first and foremost the people that get to touch that. So when we're bringing in freelancers, it's sometimes to support that for sure. But that's not, we need the Sarofsky touch on that. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit like, I don't know. Just there are a couple of freelancers out there but what is it?
Yeah, and it's okay to ask after you're booked.
Or
totally.
If it's rooted around skill set, like, but what is this about? Like, or to get a sense of what the hours might be like what's my quality of life going to be like for the next 3 months, kind of thing. I think there's all those kind of questions. But if it's just because you're like sussing out, is this going to be something I'm going to put on my demo reel? Like, that's where it gets a little bit obnoxious.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a turn off.
It's a turn off. Yeah. Swipe left. So as a design studio of a smaller scale or medium or scale, we have a shockingly rigid file structure. And that's because we've had to be a part of their VFX pipeline. And so everything has a place, everything goes very specifically. We like things labeled. We got used to working that way. It created a ton of efficiency. So whenever we have somebody in and they just are saving shit on their desktop and things aren't in the right places and they're just a mess, you're just like, God, what is so hard about this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We have some really specific practices that we kind of go over when you start, and they are file naming, they are versioning, they are where files go, and it's just essential that you follow the structure, because that way anybody can take and open your file and know where everything is. If you're saving stuff on your personal workstation, then links will get broken. We have practices that we follow really strictly, and I'm sure other studios do too. So it's important to adapt to that way of working.
Absolutely. And we have certain software on our computers that we own, that we pay for. If you're coming into a studio with pirated shit on your laptop, we get dinged for that.
Yeah,
We've gotten dinged for that. Those are not fucking fun conversations to be having with a software developer that needs to make their numbers for the quarter. Foundry. So they, it's a real thing. If you're going to be in a studio and have stuff going, or install stuff on a computer or anything like that, like, we are going to be held hardcore responsible for that.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to thank everybody for coming.
Taking the time.
And this was a great way to kick off Labs for the year, really. So make sure you check out.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching this series. We hope you learned a lot and feel more comfortable with some of the concepts surrounding freelancing in the motion design industry. And if you want to learn more, check out the Freelance Manifesto, available in paperback or Kindle formats. And check out sarofskylabs.com to find out when their next live session will be held. Make sure to subscribe if you like what you saw here, and we'll see you next time.